We now welcome Xavier Holmes onto the YouTube channel. Xavier, thanks for joining us. We're excited to have you. I know you recently committed to JMU. For starters, could you take us through your recruitment process from Maine and sort of what stood out about JMU?
Okay. And after my season at Maine, you know, I was already familiar with what I had going on and what I was establishing there. Um, but I felt like there was more that I needed from, facility wise and growth. So I talked with my family and knew I was going to hit the portal. And then during that time, um, it was kind of slow at first, but I stayed to it and just trusted the process. And eventually, JMU reached out, and now we're here.
I know fans are excited, partially, I think, because of how well Kyrie Mans played, having the previous connection at Maine. Did you overlap with him at all during your time there? I guess what's your relationship with Kyrie?
Yeah, that's my boy. He's very, very competitive, and him and I used to play at Maine together. So we always used to compete, and we that's my guy. So anything that he did, I always try to articulate or try to do better. Kyrie, he's very competitive. So it kind of, made me had to push myself as well.
He's got sort of that speed rush. I know you might be a little bit bigger than him. What's sort of your playing style, I guess, compared to Kyrie and then compared to some other defensive ends?
Yeah, so I work the same thing. I say my motor is what I really take pride on, and whoever has that football, hey, good luck because I'm coming after you. So, I have a few moves in my bag from like the long arm to swipe. And it just varies depending on what sets I get.
That's awesome. I know you had a pretty crazy tackle number for a defensive end, 72 tackles at Maine this year. You had 13 in a game against Delaware, which was pretty
Mm.
wild. I guess what do you accredit that ability to consistently rack up tackles, which usually you might expect that from like a linebacker or a safety, but to do that at defensive end, I guess what's making that happen for you?
My drive. If you really love this game, you're gonna be around that ball. And I always try to finish when you watching film and you see it and it's coming down to like the last seconds. I want to be in the vicinity, in the film. So, I take pride in, running to the ball and trying to be the first one there and get them down.
I know you've got forced fumbles to your name. I think you had an interception in your
Yeah.
time at Maine, which looked pretty natural from what I saw on film. Did you always play defensive end? I guess where did the ball skills come from, and what is
Uh,
it about getting to the ball that comes so naturally to you?
yeah. First, I used to play receiver. Well, not necessarily play receiver. I tried receiver. It didn't really work out as planned. You would think so. My hands are huge, but no, defense really stuck out to me because just I feel like offense. Nothing against any offensive players, but defense, you really working with those 11 guys, and really anybody that messes up, like it plays a big part. LeBron can go out there, he can do his thing, 1 versus 5, but like for defense, everybody has to do their 111. So I take pride in that team aspect and working for that one common goal.
You mentioned the portal and how it was slow at first. I guess was there any surprise there given your stats last year? 72 tackles, 12 and a half tackles for loss, 6+ sacks. Were you surprised at all that it took a little while to heat up for you?
Yes, at first, I knew the portal is pretty scary, but I just really had trust in it, trust in the process. I'm not really goal driven. I stick to the process, and I know that I put in my work and I put in my pain, and it was going to pay off.
That process, you look at your bio on Maine and it talks about, maybe not a lot your first year or two, and then a
Mhm.
solid 2023 and then an incredible 2024. Seems like every year you kind of got better. What does that look like for you, that work that you're putting in? You keep alluding to sort of the process. What's the process look like for you? Is it a lot of time in the weight room that sort of gets you to do that? Are you a big film study guy? What is it that allows you to have so much success?
It's just consistency. Everything I do is consistent, whether that's what time I wake up, what time I eat, the time I watch film, everything is not like I wake up, I feel like being great today. Nah, like everything is planned and organized and detailed. And I'm gonna take that with me to James Madison and, you know, the great coaches there. I know that they can push me, and I'm just excited for both of us to intertwine our talents.
So what kind of I guess player are you on the field? We mentioned your playing style, but I know there's some defensive ends if they're having a big day that might be talking a lot to an offensive tackle. Are you that kind of guy? Are you more of like a silent assassin type? What's your demeanor when you're out there?
It depends. Like I'm not I'm not really gonna say anything the first few drives, just feeling it out. But like I'm not gonna say nothing unless, you popping it. And if you talking your talk, you better back it up. Cause I'm gonna wear you out all 4 quarters.
Has the motor as a strength, has that always been natural to you of just wanting to like every play I'm bringing in 100%?
Yes, that's the goal. If I could die on that field, I probably would.
That's awesome. Do you love the I guess fourth quarters then? Is that sort of your idea that over the course of a game you could wear down an offensive tackle just by keeping that intensity?
Oh yeah. So I always think about like fourth quarter, about like during like spring ball, and like I'm tired, I'm drained, I'm fatigued, but you know, I never want to be outworked. So if you feeling tired and I see that, it's like blood in the water for me. So I'm gonna just attack, and I'm not gonna show it. I try not to show it. So if I see you leaning over and I'm tired too, hey, I'm gonna stand up, firm chest, and be like, all right, let's go. Next play.
That's awesome. I know you guys played a ton of really good opponents this year at Maine. You had Montana State was on there. You blew out Villanova, which was number 5 at the time you played them. Oklahoma toward the end of the year, which is it's a good one.
Yeah,
What did you learn from playing some of those teams and having pretty solid performances against that high level competition?
yeah, it's just a matter of this will and want. You know, if you really want it, you really just have to go out there and get it. The competition, I would definitely say, is harder, but I'm a competitor. You can line me up against anybody, and I'm betting on myself. So, and also our coaches had, great game plans for those teams as well. So I wouldn't say it was just all me, but I really take pride in this, just trying to be the best at what I do, no matter who I play.
That's awesome. I know FAU was another team that was recruiting you pretty hard in the portal. I guess what was it in the end about JMU that separated from some of the other teams that did end up contacting you and seemed like they were recruiting you pretty hard?
Yeah. So one, I'll say Kyrie. He really is a great player, and
Yeah,
this since he was at Maine and just talking to him, like he's very like-minded. So to see what this program did with him and develop him as a player, I knew that this is a place to be from, the coach's standpoint. Great coaches. James Madison always has a great history of, winning and doing the right thing. The family here is, I love it. The facilities are great, and from the academics, all of those fall in place.
awesome. Is there an NFL player? I love to ask some of the players this. Is there an NFL player that you kind of look up to or try to model some of your game after it all?
Yeah, I love Micah Parsons. Every time I see him, I was like, this guy is a freak of nature. And it's
Yeah,
just like a man amongst boys, it looks like when he's out there on the field. So I really that's my mindset when I'm on the field. Like that lion, high energy, high spirit guy, and just trying to get after the quarterback and get the ball.
awesome. Yeah, what is your favorite part of playing defensive end? Is it you got an interception, so you know what that feels like? Is it that? Is it a forced fumble, any kind of sack? I guess what is it that really gets you fired up when you're playing defensive end?
Nothing is a better feeling than a sack.
Yeah.
The hitting the quarterback, wrapping them up, and knowing you're about to get up to the fans going crazy is like it's electric. I love the energy from it, and you know, it's just a great feeling. A pick is also great too, but I love a sack.
That makes a lot of sense as a defensive end.
Yeah.
And then I guess for logistically, what's next for you? Do you get on campus in January? Or are you somebody who's coming in the summer? What's it like for enrolling at JMU and getting started?
Yes, I'm hitting the ground rolling. I'm coming up there soon. I'll say I know I'm supposed to be there by the 20th, but I'm gonna come up a little earlier, get acclimated, make sure, everything is up and set, and we'll see from there.
Awesome, man. Congrats and good luck with everything.
Thank you.